The breaking news today is that the judge overseeing Trump's hush money trial in New York has threatened to jail the former president for repeated violations of his gag order. Judge Merchant stated that Trump's continued willful violations of this court's orders threaten the administration of justice and constitute a direct attack on the rule of law. He added, "I cannot allow that to continue." Three things jump out immediately. First, Donald Trump will violate the gag order again. He just will. He is simply unable to control what he says or to resist the temptation to repost on Truth Social what others say. A gag order cannot close the mouth of a lion. Second, since the judge has drawn a line in the sand, which Trump will undoubtedly cross, this means that Trump is likely going to jail at some point, and probably soon. Whether it's only for 30 days or even shorter remains to be seen, but it does now seem inevitable. Third, while the left would celebrate Trump going to jail, Trump himself knows full well that this makes him even stronger on the right. The more Trump is held to account for his actions, the more his supporters see him as being persecuted. It's an upside-down world, and Trump is the eternal victim. Speaking of the man who lines up with the biblical descriptions for the Antichrist, Donald Trump compared President Joe Biden's administration to the Gestapo in remarks at a private, closed-door donor retreat on Saturday afternoon. Audio of the luncheon, which was provided to NBC News, was apparently laced with profanities. Trump repeatedly cursed throughout his speech, including while criticizing Special Counsel Jack Smith and other prosecutors who have charged him with criminal indictments. Among the featured guests at the retreat were a number of potential VP candidates, and at the end of the luncheon, Trump brought all of these guests on stage, along with a number of other elected officials, including House Speaker Mike Johnson, the man who recently compared himself to Moses. Trump announced he'd allow anyone who donated $1 million on the spot to also come up to the stage. Two people took him up on the offer, including one woman who declared, "Donald J. Trump is the person that God has chosen." One featured guest who was not on stage was Kristi Noem, who had left the event a bit earlier. Trump did, however, reference her, saying she was somebody that I love, and she's been with me and a supporter, and I've been a supporter of hers for a long time. Noem, of course, has been receiving a great deal of criticism for a few stories in her new book, including killing her 14-month-old dog, another killing of a goat, and a very possibly untrue account of meeting with Kim Jong-un. Her book was seen as yet another attempt to boost her chances of being Trump's pick for vice president, portraying herself as a tough-as-nails woman who will make hard decisions as she battles the deep state, things that she was sure Trump would want in a VP. However, her story about shooting her dog might also have been aimed at impressing Trump, as one of his favorite insults of others is to compare them to a dog. He often uses terms such as fired like a dog or choked like a dog to describe his adversaries. Trump did have a curious reaction when he found out about the story. He reportedly expressed shock, not that she shot her 14-month-old dog, but that Noem would admit to the execution in her book, with Trump reportedly saying it showed her lack of understanding of public relations. For his part, Trump certainly knows a thing or two about public relations and self-promotion. It turns out that Trump's pizza delivery to the firehouse last week, which was widely cheered on the right, was a bit contrived. Reportedly, the pizzas were actually delivered about 20 minutes before Trump got to the firehouse. Upon arriving, Trump took 2 of the pizzas and made himself available for a photo op to look like he was bringing them with him. In reality, they were already there. Finally, there's a story on Axios called Behind the Curtain, 6% of 6 states. The article talks about how the titanic Biden-Trump election likely will be decided by roughly 6% of voters in just 6 states. The article caught my eye because the election is also 6 months away.